A full decade ago, Glenn Fricker used one of my videos in one of his funny, haha, look at this idiot videos, where he just took, videos that other people made and put them into his, weird, nasty like video of just like look at these idiots. And by the way, you all agree with me because and enforce the fact that I'm cool and right and these are all idiots and they're wrong. Just a weird concept for a video, especially when you're like at that point. I believe I want to say like pushing 50. At this point he's got to be then pushing 60, and it's like, Glenn, what is, like, suppose your mom still lives, Glenn, and um, she invites you over for coffee for Thanksgiving or whatever the fuck it is you Americans do. I'm not American, by the way. I'm sick of American hyperbole. I'm sick of the American presence and fucking just everywhere constantly. But I'm Finnish. I'm born and raised here. Mä oon suomalainen, mä oon kaksikielinen, äidinkieli ruotsi, niin sanottu isänkieli suomi. Aina puhunut molempia kieliä niin koulussa kuin kaveritten kesken ja näin poispäin. Tähän päivään asti. So that said, your mom invites you over and she's like, well, Glenn, what have you been doing this week? And you go, well, I've been making some YouTube videos, Mom. And she goes, well, what kind of YouTube video? And do you, Glenn, at that point say, well, I scour the internet for content that other people make, and I take their videos, and I don't just, they do something that I don't agree with. But instead of just talking about, hey, some people do this, I insert their faces, insert them into my videos, and then I mock them. I essentially, bully them. Not the idea of a person or not the concept of doing something, but actually I bully and mock real people. Mom, that's what I did this week. Hey, by the way, I'm turning 65 soon. Any tips? And I want to believe, Glenn, that at that point your mom would say, what, Glenn, but why would you do that, Glenn? You're 60 years old, Glenn. Aren't you old? Aren't you too old for that? I don't think that's a very nice thing to do, Glenn. Does the world really need that? And if she doesn't say something along those lines, then that would explain something. But Glenn, come on. I made when I was like 20, I made some video about where I would openly mock someone, maybe like Suicide Silence or something, and be like, haha, I'm so cool, I'm so right, and they're so wrong because I don't agree with what they're doing musically. But I know, and I probably used some colorful language, but I know that I would have been so ashamed if my mom would have then watched that video, because she would have said, Franz, what is this? I don't like the fact that you did such a nasty video. Why would you have to be that mean on the internet? I would have felt shame. I would have probably taken it down. What do you feel, Glenn, when you do stuff like that? Glenn, what is the, like, I don't get it. And anyway, when you're talking about cupping the mic, Glenn, don't, you cannot, I can't imagine that you're seriously attempting to assert that there is either cupping the mic and not cupping the mic. As if you're trying to say that, like, double hand cupping the, like, SM58 like this, like Jake from Converge or Mitch Lucker would do sometimes, like this, is the same thing as holding a SM7B like this. Because that's what you've used me as an example doing, like holding an SM7 like this. Talking about it like cupping the mic, like it's the same thing like this. Now we all know what this does to the audio, but doing this, minuscule difference. I'll go into the details, but I don't think you understand the details because you can't vocalize in a way that you would. I don't know. I don't understand you, Glenn. But anyway, so you did this 10 years ago and then you did it again now? What the hell, dude? Like, the whole cupping the mic thing is like, yeah, I remember 20 years ago. I also remember triggers are cheating. I also remember, hey, St. Anger's snare sucks. Like, these are just mass statements that became part of the common vernacular of just like people wanting to show that they're in the know of what is good and what is not good, and specifically the metal genre. What is your point, Glenn? What is your point? I got to wrap it up now, but I mean, so first off, why are you being such a dick at like 65 years old? Second, if you don't, as a, I presume, professional sound engineer, understand the difference between cupping the mic like the SM50 like this and holding a SM7 like this, then I don't know what you've been doing with your ears this entire time. And well, suffice to say, there are certain things when you do certain levels, certain styles of death metal vocals that are when the output volume that exits your tiny mouth hole at that point when you're doing stuff like it is a question of so many different micro adjustments on like a macro level that starts in your belly all the way every inch in your body all the way up through your tiny little mouth hole that goes into that mic. And sometimes when you do a specific sort of sound while doing extreme death metal vocals, you want to get that tiny little extra push or boost or density that you get from gripping the SM7 like this. It's a tiny, minuscule difference when you make certain noises because you, as a vocalist, want it to be as dense as possible. Because, again, we're talking about micro levels of air and stuff flowing through, and that micro adjustment, which is indiscernible anyway when it comes to putting that shit in a mix in modern metal mixing. It's like, who fucking cares? But anyway, Glenn, so glad you're still going strong, I guess, and I'll see you in 2035. Well, you probably dredge up a video from 2015 by me again for a third time. I mean, go nuts, dude. And tell your mom about what you do and tell me what she says about that.